Brad Pitt's touching support for Jennifer Aniston amid stalking ordeal moves fans. Once the darlings of Hollywood, Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston were a couple that embodied the very idea of romance under the spotlight. Their chemistry was undeniable, their union iconic, and their eventual split heartbreaking to fans around the globe. Now, 2 decades later, in a moment that feels both surprising and comforting, Brad has reportedly made a deeply touching gesture of support toward Jennifer amid one of the most distressing periods of her life. For those who remember, Brad and Jennifer first crossed paths in 1998, quickly becoming one of the most photographed and beloved celebrity couples of the era. Their love story seemed perfect, 2 incredibly successful, good-looking stars rising even higher together. In July 2000, they married in a lavish ceremony in Malibu, complete with fireworks, gospel choirs, and an air of timeless romance. But by 2005, the fairy tale had begun to unravel. Their highly publicized divorce came amidst intense speculation over Brad's on-screen and off-screen closeness to his Mr. and Mrs. Smith co-star Angelina Jolie. While Brad and Angelina would go on to have a long relationship and even marry in 2014, only to divorce in 2016, Jennifer was left to pick up the pieces in the public eye. Despite the heartbreak and media frenzy, both Brad and Jen maintained dignity throughout. Over the years, they've each spoken with warmth and maturity about their past, never indulging in bitterness or blame. In fact, time seemed to soften their relationship, and by the late 2010s and early 2020s, they were often seen together at award shows, sharing friendly hugs, smiles, and occasional behind-the-scenes moments that sent fans into nostalgic overdrive. But their latest chapter together isn't about red carpets or viral photographs. It's about genuine care, concern, and emotional support. Recently, Jennifer Aniston, now 56, has been thrust into an unnerving and deeply personal nightmare. A 48-year-old man was arrested after allegedly crashing his vehicle into the gates of her Bel Air estate. This was not a random accident, but rather part of a disturbing stalking campaign. According to authorities and sources close to the actress, the man had also been flooding Jennifer's voicemail, email, and social media inboxes with obsessive and threatening messages. The psychological toll of such harassment cannot be overstated. Jen's stalking nightmare has been a living hell, an insider close to the star shared. She's tried to stay strong and composed, but behind closed doors, it's been incredibly difficult. She's had to increase her security, rethink her routines, and constantly be on guard. It's emotionally exhausting. In a heartening turn, many of Jennifer's close friends and colleagues have rallied around her, offering emotional support and practical help. But perhaps the most unexpected and touching offer came from none other than her ex-husband, Brad Pitt. Brad reached out to Jen privately after hearing about what happened, the source revealed. He was deeply concerned and wanted to make sure she was okay. In fact, he even offered her the use of his Los Angeles home if she ever felt unsafe at her own property. This offer, though it may seem small to some, holds immense emotional weight, given their history. It wasn't made for publicity or attention. It came from a place of genuine care, and from someone who, despite everything, still holds a place of fondness for her in his heart. It's no secret that Brad still cares deeply for Jen, the insider added. They've long since moved past the pain of their divorce. What remains now is a deep, abiding friendship built on respect, shared memories, and trust. While neither of them has commented publicly on the matter, fans and friends alike have expressed admiration for the way Brad and Jen have navigated their post-divorce relationship. There's something profoundly human about the way they've evolved. Once lovers, now friends, connected not by romance but by kindness and history. Jennifer is said to be touched and overwhelmed by the support she's received. Though she has chosen to remain in her home for now, she has reportedly taken Brad's offer seriously and is comforted knowing she has a safe space if needed. Meanwhile, Brad, who has largely kept a low profile in recent years, seems to be continuing his journey of introspection and quiet generosity. Following his own challenging divorce from Angelina Jolie and ongoing legal battles regarding custody and finances, Brad has often spoken about the importance of healing, emotional maturity, and finding peace. In a world where celebrity relationships are often fleeting and performative, Brad and Jennifer's story stands out, not for its romance but for its quiet resilience. They remind us that relationships don't always end in bitterness. Sometimes they evolve. Sometimes they transform into something just as meaningful, true friendship. As Jennifer continues to recover from her traumatic experience, one thing is certain: she is not alone. With loyal friends, increased security, and gestures of kindness from those who know her best, including her former husband, she is surrounded by strength and care. For fans who once grieved the end of Hollywood's golden couple, this new chapter is a comforting reminder that love doesn't always disappear. Sometimes it simply changes form, and sometimes it returns when it's needed most.